So, since '98, so you've been here almost 20 years.
Yeah.
You know about how many times you've had contact with CPD?
Man, I can't even count on my hands and toes how many times I've had contact. Not necessarily breaking the law, but just getting pulled over, you know. It's really it's pretty usual, you know. It's something you grow to expect.
Mm-hmm. So, you think you've been pulled over several times or many times for no reason? Or?
Yeah, a lot of times, most of the times I really believe it's been for no reason. Even here recently, you know, I've been pulled over, especially in the type of car I am that I'm in right now. You know, certain cars they label as high profile cars, or you know, cars that I guess you would say black people drive a lot, you know, which like this, it's a Charger, you know, and it's a pretty popular car with everyone, regardless of what color you are, you know. But they see the tinted windows on there, and you know, they figure that you're up to something.
How do they normally treat you when you pulled over? You more agitated, or
it really depends on the officers. I think a lot of them, they figure when they pull you over, you know, that you're going to be doing something wrong. Maybe you don't have your license on you, or no insurance, or maybe they run your name and you have a warrant, you know. And then I think if they find something, then their attitude changes a lot. And sometimes it just depends, because it's a lot of officers that'll pull you over and immediately get to tripping with you. And a lot of times, if you're not doing anything wrong, you know, that'll aggravate them, you know. I've been pulled over. I remember when my kid's mother, she was pregnant, so you know, a woman, you never know when she's gonna be craving something. So she wanted some breakfast early in the morning, so I took her to Denny's and got her some breakfast food. And when we left, it was about 2:30, and I got pulled over with my girl pregnant. At the time, that was my girl, and the officer, I asked him why is he pulling me over, you know, and he said my car fit the description of a car that was just in the shooting at 2-something in the morning, you know. So I thought that was kind of weird, you know. And then I asked him, well, would you mind giving me a time of the shooting and your badge number? And his whole attitude changed, and after that he was like, well, you good to go. Just make sure you got some air in that tire, because I pulled you over because of that too. I want to make sure you're safe out here, you know. So a lot of times I used to work at a factory, and my lunch break would be at 12 in the morning, you know. And a lot of times, I didn't like to leave on my lunch break because I felt like I would get pulled over, you know, and stopped or harassed for no reason, you know.
Can you tell me about a time or two in which you feel like you've been profiled or hassled unjustly because you're black, or they've maybe gone out of the way to try to find PC to arrest you?
That's a lot of times. Not too long ago, I was on my way home actually, and I'm not gonna say that they went out of their way to arrest me, but like when it comes to driving and signaling, turning my signal lights on, I'm very conscious of that. So when the officer pulled me over, I asked him why was he pulling me over, and he said because I forgot to signal. You know, if it's something that you know that you do all the time and it's a habit, and you know you didn't forget to do it, you know, it makes you wonder a little bit, like, okay, now you're just picking with me, you're trying to find a reason. And it actually was when I first had got this vehicle. I didn't get pulled over right away either. He said he seen me, I didn't signal, but he was in front of me. And when he pulled me over, he was behind me, and I was pulling into my driveway. I wouldn't say at that time he went out of his way to arrest me. But it's been a lot of incidents. Actually, about 6-7 months ago, I was released from prison. I just did 8.5 years sentence for a robbery I committed when I was 20 years old, 2007. And it was a violent crime, you know. So when I came out, while I was in prison, you know, I taught myself a lot of things so I could be able to do things like run my own business. You know, I decided to change some of the things I was doing, you know, but nobody else sees that, you know. All they see is, well, here goes another criminal re-entering into society, you know. What's he going to do next? How long is it going to be before he violates the law? How long is it going to be before he screws up? And I feel like a lot of time that's what these officers look for. Sometimes I get up and I go to work. I go to my gym and it'll be 4 or 5 in the morning. And I actually don't like being up at those times, especially driving, because I know it's a high chance that if a police officer gets behind me, they're gonna pull me over, you know, or even if they're off in the cut. I'm gonna show y'all this gas station down here. This was probably about a month ago. It was around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they got the Loop Liquors up here. Break time, I was wanting to go to break time and give me something to drink. Not no liquor or nothing, but something to drink, because I didn't have anything at the house. And my girl had wanted something too. Break time was closed. So I came up here to Loop Liquors. Y'all see Chevrolet right there. So I came over here, and it was an officer, he rode by, and he parked right over there in the Chevrolet office right here. I mean the parking lot. And I went in here. I seen him before he went in, because anytime I see a police officer, I watch him. You know, like, I know they're watching me, so I want to see and prepare myself for what they're gonna do. You know, if they're gonna try to mess with me. So I came in, and I was in here for a while because this store really didn't have anything particularly that I wanted at the time, you know. So I couldn't find nothing. So I came out and I seen him in that parking lot. As soon as I drove out this way, I backed up, I drove out, and he came out as well, and he followed me for a couple of blocks. So, like, if I feel like a police officer's following me, my objective is to get somewhere and park, you know. I might drive around a couple of blocks to make sure he's not following me. But if they follow me, cut too many corners or turn too many corners, the same as I am, you know, I'm like, all right, he's up to something, you know. And I ain't gonna say he's trying to up to something like he's trying to plant drugs on me, but he's obviously trying to catch me doing something, you know. And nobody want to get pulled over and your name ran and your tags ran. I don't care if you don't have a record on you, you know. This area right here, this area is notorious for police officers. So
yeah, we've already seen either that cop a couple times or 2 cops so far.
And you got to be careful when you're driving down these. Like, even when you're not doing anything, would you guys want to be pulled over? You know, you going home or you going to work, you got to be somewhere on time. Would you want to be pulled over? You know, or feel like if they get behind you, they're going to pull you over, you know? So it's a nuisance, it's irritating, and it's degrading sometimes, you know, to not to be able to drive in your own neighborhood. I grew up in this area, and it's still the same way. I lived in this house right here, 109. And, you know, it's one of the better houses over here, especially back then. And I'll never forget, I came outside one time because my mom asked me to get something out the car. And as soon as I came out, immediately a police officer was, "Come here," and grabbed me up and was just search me, you know. And I was, you know, I was scared, you know. I was angry too, you know. And of course, when I told my mom, she was angry, you know. But I'll never forget. And then when I asked them, when she asked why they did it, you know, they said because it was somebody who had, I forgot what the crime was, but somebody that had ran through this way, you know. And, man, I think I was probably about, I want to say 13 maybe. I was pretty young.
It was right when you came out of the house?
Yeah, as soon as I came out, I don't even think I got to go to the car first. A lot of people's fears is getting killed by the police, you know?
Yeah, with all the attention on police-involved shootings and killings, it's moved on in the last couple of years.
When I got pulled over in my driveway, my girlfriend was there, her sister and her kids was over there at the time. You know, they came outside. One of the little boys, one of her kids came outside, and when he seen that police car behind me, he instantly closed the door and ran back inside, you know. So that's pretty bad when the kids see the police and automatically think of something negative or something bad, and fear the police, because that's not how it's supposed to be, you know. Police are supposed to be here to protect the community, and I'm not saying all police officers are bad, but this is the image that you guys have right now, and you know what's being taught to the kids, whether it's subliminal or whether it's by the things they see, you know, is to fear the police, or you know that something bad gonna happen to somebody who gets pulled over by the police, their brother, their dad, their uncle, you know, whoever, you know. And one of the things they said was, "I'm glad didn't nothing happen to you," you know. And that's right there. That's crazy.
Well, we talked briefly the other day. We were on the phone about the impetus for this story and the controversy in Colombia about the debate over whether racial profiling happens between the view of the African American community compared to police officers, and the chief saying that it doesn't exist. What do you think about that when the chief denies it, even though you and everyone you know feels like you're being profiled every day?
That says a lot about his character, and that says a lot about somebody who was put in a position to solve problems. So by you not acknowledging the problem, you're not willing to fix anything, you know. So you're overlooking something that exists, but you're not even willing to give it enough attention to see how you can solve these problems. And by you saying that profiling among black people doesn't exist, it's kind of like a slap in the face.